And we're up. All right, cool. So, last time on D&D, you guys got in a battle with this orc cultist, and as you were leaving the druid's hut, and as you were uh, in the fight, what's Thora's orc teammates were taking out, and Tormade stabilized them to during the fight, and they were badly hurt. You guys took down. You were ambushed by a bunch of cultists, and you took down the main orc leader, as the other one ran away. They they were after the book of Monder. This book you got out of the druid's hut, and after refusing to give it to them, they attacked you. As Tormade struggled to get back into the druid's hut to look around to see if there's anything they missed or like to find a safe place to put Alora. Seven and Dominic uh, interrogated. That's the word. Interrogated the cult leader. He wouldn't give him any information, and after some time, Thora stabbed him in the head to vindicate her fallen comrades and the possible traitor in her town. Tormade found a map of the waters running through the underground of the forest, and took the map with him so he can either copied down the map or took the map with him so he can look over which way should they go for the group to go. You guys all went back to the well. Thora leaving the party after she helped you guys down the well. Seven finally cured Tormade, and he didn't die. Okay, so he took the map. After the newly refreshed Tormade, before the newly refreshed Tormade, as his last struggling efforts, he grounded Alora into the soil, and she began to grow normally. Seven cured Tormade. After a full, well-deserved long rest, you guys began your walk through the tunnels of the well to see where it leads. And you found a small mining room where you guys found a bunch of mining equipment. Two skeletal dead bodies that have been here for a very long time. You require new items, and Seven put on an old drow eye patch, which she's going to start with now, taking 3d6 damage for having her eye stabbed. Just like stabbed, she can never. Her eye isn't gone. Her eye is still inside the eye patch, so she can see through it. But it's just like it's hooked onto her socket, where it'll never be able to be removed unless by like powerful magic or she's dead. And Ben, you can roll your 3d6, and we can start from there. You guys were about to start traveling down the mine shaft to see what else is going on.
Did I not already take the damage? Is that not?
You said you were gonna. You said if you or I should roll it. I said you, but I didn't specify that you should do it before because you were fully rested. You were fully healed.
Yeah, and I haven't got fully healed hit points on my character sheet. So I'm wondering whether I already rolled it. If not,
just heal yourself. I mean, you could just heal yourself up to max and then just take the hit.
Yeah, do I take level 4 hit points max, or do I take level 3?
Max.
So level 4 max. Okay.
Yep. Level 4 max, and then take the hit, damage.
Okay. I had a quick question for you guys. I was thinking about taking I can never pronounce it. What is it? Mordecai.
Mordor. Let's call it Mordor. It's basically moan and then dur. Monder.
No.
I think he was talking about spell.
Yeah, he's the famous magic user. He's got like 8 spells.
Oh.
Faithful Hound, Private Sanctum. I was thinking, I wanted to bounce this off the other people. Either Fabricate, which is kind of a useless spell in any sort of offense, but it seemed like it fit my class. But I was thinking about maybe not taking it now, maybe taking it later. But I was thinking about taking the Private Sanctum, just because we seem to keep running into camp problems, ability to like be safe. And it seems like my character would have thought like, gee, we need some sort of like bastion of safety, right?
You've had this spell this whole time and you didn't use it?
No, I didn't have it. I got an extra spell when we hit 4th.
I know, I'm just bugging you.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So what do you think about that for a choice? Does that seem,
I think safety first.
What?
Safety first.
Okay. So the Mordecai Private Sanctum it's like, I think it gives long enough for at least a short rest, if not a long rest.
Hey, real quick. Don't want to injury. What was your other choice of spell?
Fabric. Well, no, I don't have that many because of my character. Arcane Eye, Death Ward, Fabricate, Freedom of Movement, Secret Chest, Faithful Hound, Private Sanctum, Resilient Sphere, Stone Shape, and Stone Skin.
Not to spoil it anything, but I don't want you to waste a spell. You're not gonna need the Sanctum.
Okay. So, advice? Anybody in spell selection?
I don't know. Fabricate could be useful, especially if we need to replace other items. Well, like for weight triggers.
It seems like what an artificer would take, right? But
oh yeah,
it's like I just see getting spammed by zombie bears. Fabricate pile of hay. It's like okay. So
we could both set fire to that. So
okay, all right, there we go. And I do have a big boomstick. That's the whole point of him. So all right, I'm gonna take Fabricate right now.
All right, cool. 7, how's that damage going?
I did it. Do you want to know it?
Yeah, just for fun's sake.
I took 9.
Damn, that's not as high as I want it to be.
Pretty fucking high, man.
It's just average.
So basically, as you guys are leaving the room, 7 is just hooking this up onto her, and then you just hear her either wince or just, I don't know. I want to say shriek in pain, but it's not that much damage. So whatever you feel like
does not shriek.
Whatever you feel like as a character, as something stabbing your socket would feel like, how would you react?
She would probably groan slightly in a female kind of way, but
what?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay, let's retcon that because that sounded really fucked up.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to imagine it. Can you do it for me?
Yeah, I'm on a hard time. Can you?
I can't picture it quite well. I need descriptions. How about you do it for us, real quick?
No, go fuck yourself. How about that?
I'm super sensitive about my eyes, even if it's not super painful, right? Eyes are fucking. It would be. Just from a narrative point of view, this is that's got to. It's got to be super freaky. I get like a speck of something in my eye, and I'm like, oh my god, if I had spider eye patch jabbing my eye, that would freak me out. Freak me the fuck out.
I mean, I wonder if
Good
Seven
thing
would
you're
know
out.
about this thing. If it's a drow like
Yeah.
piece of equipment,
It's a specialized drops piece of equipment. You can roll history for it, but no matter what, once you put it on, you would feel a sharp pain.
Let's see how she would react then. History, it's pretty good. 18. So I imagine she would know it, what it does.
So this special type of eye would be for people that don't want to travel in a group in the drow tunnels. Like these are people that can handle themselves and only themselves, and these are like specialized like equipment where they can never be surprised or like ambushed. They're always on alert, and this is keeping them. This just boosts their abilities to keep themselves safe. So the like people that wear this are like revered because you know that they can handle themselves in the tunnel.
Yeah.
While like they take on jobs by themselves to do it.
Yeah, I imagine Seven's been wanting one of these for a while, but they won't give it to her because she's not high ranking enough. And now she's got one, so she knows what's going to happen. And then she's just like, oh, and she like bobs it a little bit. Like she knows it's coming, but it hurts nonetheless. It hurts 9.
It hurts 9. God, I've been hurt 9 before. So, 7, when you reopen your eye, half the world now seems a little pinkish. And when you close your regular eye, the world just is red. Like, because you're staring out of these rupee eye sockets coming out of the eye patch. It for at least a few hours, or like for at least the first day, you're gonna have disadvantage to range attacks. So
That's including spells.
That's including spells. But melee, you will be fine.
You nerf my character anymore.
But on the bright side, you can now see through sunlight. Sunlight won't hurt your eyes anymore.
Fucking whoop-de-doo in a bloody well.
But yeah, just for like the first day.
Okay.
Or maybe like,
Oh, you just let me know when it's over.
I'll let you know when it's over.
It's over?
No.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, you're now back in the well tunnel. It's dark. It feels slightly cold. It smells like cut grass or burnt weeds. You have the distinct smell of burned mushrooms in the air.
Love that smell.
And it's slightly cold and dark. What do you guys want to do?
All right. Well, I'm going to light my sweet new mace. I'm going to cast light on it and have it look like a little globe of fires just resting on it.
All right.
I'm going to start leading the group. I'm not sure if I heard her groan about the eye thing, but
You would hear her groan, but she looks completely fine. Other than she now has an eye patch on that she just keeps trying to rub. That's about it. She looks like she hasn't gotten hurt. There's no one attacking her, so you don't really know what's wrong.
yeah, I don't really. Well, I guess I could roll insight if I wanted to, but
I'm just giving you the overall how she looks on top without rolling.
no, fuck it. Let's roll insight just because. Hell yeah, 20.
It looks like. So you know how that your eyebrow. I don't know if you realize this, but when there's something hurting your eye, your eyebrow twitches a bit.
Yeah.
You see her eyebrow twitch a bit, and you're assuming something about the eye patch hurt her eye, and she's trying to scratch it, but she can't get to it because of an eye patch that is forever lodged into her skull.
Just assume that Seven has eyebrows.
I'm sorry. I assumed too much. Please forgive me.
Aren't people without eyebrows super creepy?
Yes.
I try not to, because I can't help it. I try not to be rude, but sometimes I just like. Oh, sorry. Anyway, back to me. If Seven indeed does not have eyebrows, it's totally applicable to the game. It makes you all the more creepy than you already are.
Yeah, man. She grows legs when spider climbing, and now she has no eyebrows. She's a freak, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Abort mission. Okay. I guess I'll draw attention to her scratching at her eye patch. I'd say, so, got an itchy eye?
As she says, something like that. As she just rubs her patch.
So why don't you just flip it off?
I feel if I do, I might rip my eye out. Just leave it for a few days. Get used to it. How does it look?
Hold on. Let's go back to it ripping your eye out.
And she explains that it sort of burrows into her eye socket. But it's like totally worth it. It's a drow thing,
During this time, Dominic is totally fascinated and watching it, and totally not as disturbed as he should be. He's like, fascinating device. Brilliant, 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 mutter. You know what I mean? Like the interested inventor or tech fan. He's totally not as creeped out by it as he should be, because he's fascinated by the device itself and walking around and trying to almost come up and poke it, then realizing it's beyond personal space boundaries.
Oh yeah, definitely. She sort of pulls back a little and says, in a few days, maybe I'll let you try it on. Just
Brilliant,
a few days.
Brilliant.
Don't pull it off in my sleep.
Amazing. No, of course not.
So, here's a little peek behind the curtains. You guys are going to be walking for about 2 hours. So if you guys want to talk it out, or we can talk about your characters, get to know each other a bit better, or talk about everything so far, you can. Or we can just skip the 2 hours and go straight into the next part. It's going to be a long walk, basically, and I'm not going to just describe the details of you shooting fireballs and everything, giving you some character development time. It's a long 2-hour walk.
All right, does anyone want to start, or?
After maybe 20 minutes, you start noticing that this long tunnel isn't slowing down. That's a way to say that there's nothing new. The shrooms are basically less and less. You're just now walking in a dark tunnel.
Would Seven's got history with long tunnels? Would she notice that it's becoming less and less life filled? With the mushrooms, there's less of them. Even less light if there could be. Maybe it's getting moist.
It's getting. You can.
Or dry.
What you can tell basically is up to the tunnel you've been in since the well has been fresh dug. Someone dug this whole thing out. The more you keep walking, the more it starts someone smoothed out the walls. You start seeing pillars of at least after an hour or so, you start seeing wooden frames being holding up the dirt above them. the earth around them so they can make tunnels and stuff like that. After the 2 hours, you're gonna reach a metal, like some rails for like rail carts, but that's like 2 hours later.
Yeah, Seven would just point out that it was becoming less of a natural cave and more of a man-made, not human-made, whatever, man-made structure. And she would just point that out. And she would say that I can't imagine it would go on too much longer. It must have taken them years to dig this.
Yes, if the letters were anything to go by. So after maybe about first 10 minutes, I would start getting a little bored of the scenery and watching the underground pass. I'm going to kind of look over to Dominic. I'm going to say, so I know this is kind of threatening your hometown. And I guess you have a business there, but nobody else has come out here. So what? And I know you wanted to help Professor Hoffman, but what made you come out here instead of just anyone else?
Well, to be totally honest, some people I think have come out here. I think maybe it's the dirty little secret of the town that, I mean, there were some adventurers that came out here. And correct me if I'm wrong at any point, Paul, world-based. I also think that, you know, many of these people are academics. They never get out of their office enough. For me, I'm actually a transplant to Flux and Flicker. I must say I was quite brilliant in my original town and community, but sadly, I am in love with a minor merchant daughter who they say is beyond my station. Bastards. But I'm here to, as trite as it may seem, prove myself as a adventurer, seeker of wealth, great adventurer in the world. And Flux and Flicker really is the town to be in if my place was a little bit of a backwater. Ignoramuses. So I do not know as much about Flux and Flicker, but I get the impression that there's more going on out here than people let on, probably because of, you know, we've seen bodies out here. I don't think it is appealing for the idea of the town's idea of itself. And also, I would imagine that there is a level of, because everybody imagines themselves so smart, I imagine there's some difficulty saying that they are threatened by something and they do not know what it is.
Fear of the unknown is fairly expected. It's nice to have someone brave it with us.
Yes, I imagine that their egos, sadly, I would imagine that in town, if there was more cooperation, maybe some sort of overarching guild or, you know, school of education, instead of the competition, they might have gotten farther on figuring out what's going on out here. But perhaps that's our job.
Perhaps. Might be a worthy investment.
Seven overhears the conversation and says, in response to Dominic, your people, the profession, your people, They bend nature. Okay? But you can only bend it so much before it starts bending back. I think that's what's happening here. It's just a theory. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
I'm certainly disturbed and out of my element being here. From school, I came from the impression that with enough smarts, enough technology, and enough magic, you can simply do what you want with reality, world, nature, people. But I have definitely seen some things since I've been here that has shaken a bit of the foundation of my belief system here. I definitely must say I'm out of my element. Stuff like this, that things don't work like this in the lab.
She says, I think for all of us, we're out of our element to some degree. Some more than others, maybe. She looks to Tormund Day. But we have overcome what we've overcome so far. No one's died. And then he looks at Tormund Day like sideways without really looking at him.
I chuckle a little bit at the side eye, but don't really say anything about it.
I'm going to pretend not to notice because I'm in front of them. You're in the way still. You assume much of me, I guess.
I assume only on what I've seen. And she means that in the highest respects, really.
I've done my fair share of traveling through nature, and it's unfortunate that I didn't make that the focus of my study, because it truly does have some beautiful moments in it.
I thought I might see more of it on the surface. It's true. Nature is beautiful always, but it's nicer in the sunlight, I've heard.
You
She
mean
sort of looks around
starlight?
this dark. She
Even the sun is another star.
yeah, she smiles and nods.
So what brings you up to the surface, Seven? You've made it quite known that you haven't sworn yourself to protect nature, but here you are.
Where I'm from, where you are born, and you stay, and you die. But for some of us, we must travel to other cities, other dwellings underground, to trade, things of that nature. And once you've done that for a number of years, you are expected to sit in a chamber, counsel others to do the same thing. Politics. She sort of rolls her eyes, her one eye that you can see. I was given an opportunity to go to the surface to see, document this place. As the city of Rook, where I'm from, is one of the leading founders of democracy. It doesn't happen a lot where I'm from, in the Underdark. Apparently, it is widespread on the surface, and I wish to learn more about it, about this place. I did not expect to be here doing this with you, but it seemed important. If this is happening here, it could spread. It could spread to the next town, it could spread to the next city, it could spread underground. And I don't think we could, without knowledge, we could not stop it. So I'm here.
Hmm. Noble cause, to be sure.
I suppose.
Paul, I want to continue, and I'm assuming that we already assumed this, but I'm just going to voice it. I've been continuing to work on my what is the proper term for the thing that holds the bayonet? A bayonet holder. I can't be right.
I think we just called it a latch.
Okay. Yeah, so when that's done, let me know. And I think that was a wand of fireballs.
Yep, you attached the one of fireball. It would have been done by the time I guess during this first conversation, it would.
Right.
Yeah. As you talked, as Seven continued talking, you screwed on the last latch and you gave the one like a sturdy hit, and it stayed there and you just gave it a nod of approval. Yeah. Yeah, you can gotta continue. Unless you guys are done.
Oh, we're not done.
So I do want to ask Seven if she thinks we're going to be encountering her people. And if so, hint like a little kid who really, really wants to go to Disneyland, that Dominic would be very interested in seeing their alchemical and technological developments, and also kind of poking around that he gets that he can kind of tell that that there is some sort of drows don't seem as unified to him as the gnomes do, and it's interesting to him. So he's trying to kind of poke around what the politics is, but also being I want to see some shit. So
she sort of smiles and says, unless this, I assume we're sort of on a straight tunnel, vertical wise, she says, unless this tunnel takes a sharp turn down, and then we walk along it for several days, maybe a few weeks, then perhaps we might find my people, or some people. But no, unfortunately not. I don't think so.
So your people live even deeper than this?
This is the surface.
My goodness, my goodness. Fascinating.
And she sort of ponders on their thought, his thinking of what the surface is to what hers is, and she takes a few moments, and then she sort of shrugs that off, and she looks towards Tormund and says, "So, what brings you to our little outing?"
Oh, you mean this little skirmish? Some would call it.
Sure, if that's what you call it.
I came here to help a friend.
And she looks to everyone. Which one is it?
You probably wouldn't know her.
I got a friend.
She lives somewhere
I got a
around
girlfriend in
here,
Canada. You wouldn't know her.
You wouldn't know her.
Sorry.
She's way too cool. She says, I can't imagine I do. But please, this is a long walk. Humour me.
Well, it's somewhat a bit of a lie. I did come here to help a friend. But they don't live in Flex and Flicker. I don't know where she actually resides, but I know that she asked me to come here. And as far as I know, getting rid of this threat is probably what she wants me to do.
You seem incredibly unsure.
You know how it is talking about greater beings. They're ambiguous at best.
Talk about one of them. And she looks like down.
Oh, no. As far as I know, the only other reason she would want me to be here is to protect Alora. But I imagine that in order to do that, I need to remove this rot from this place.
Tell me, what is her name?
There we go. I didn't realize how long her name was until I actually had to say it.
Oh, it's like 7 words.
It's not 7
You're
words,
telling me,
man.
man. I was reading it and I was like, the fuck is this? That's why I was so confused. And I glad, like, at one point you shortened it and I was like, okay, I can read that better.
Can I ask a quick question here? It's totally jumping from. I'm trying to fill out my character sheet. When I put in my character sheet, they kind of wiped my hit points.
Shit.
But we were healed. It's because I got a new hit dice. What are we doing with the new hit dice when they come in? Like, what are we rolling for it, or are we is it maxed?
You can either roll and add your constitution, or you can take your average, which will be in the class description.
Well, your average +1.
Okay, we maxed the first 3 levels, right?
Yeah, now it's average or roll. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Paul.
So that gives me what I was at before. Now it's average. So an average of a D8 is D4.
5.
Okay. Okay. So you ask yourself.
You shouldn't have to roll. I mean, you're saying you're at what you were before.
Yes.
Like when you level up, whatever your max hit points is, you should add like 5 plus your constitution to it, and that's your max hit points now.
Oh, because I have a 1d8. It's 5 plus 1, 6. So I had 6 to what my max was, right?
Yep. Because we rested, you have that.
All right, thank you.
And you get 1 hit die. So you have 4 hit die when you take a short rest to
Right.
use.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Sorry. Return to the narrative. I apologize.
What
Long,
is her
we
name?
were at a very long name.
All right. I kind of just think about if I can actually trust Seven. But then I decide that I'm going to actually tell her. When I was hitting about 130 years old, I was coming into a crisis of meaning. And I thought, and my research wasn't helping me. The stars tell very little, as you may have guessed. And so I sought a deeper meaning, something more meaningful than I could get from my research or even the ideals and faiths. And so, in a desperate bid to get more out of my life, I came to a forest similar to this one. And I summoned Veranestra, the fey deity of fairies, charm, and beauty, and consulted her for knowledge on this deeper meaning. And in return, I gave her my soul. That's why I don't care if I die here. Saving Alora, protecting any of you, it doesn't matter. Because when I die, I'll find myself back in her arms anyways.
She lets that sort of sit in the air. She takes that all in. I don't think she's ever heard of anything so devout, I guess the word is.
Well,
In the devout culture, you sort of respect and fear the gods. And there you are giving like your life for them.
well, I always used to believe that evil lurked in the world, and it does, as it shows all around us right now. But even that came into question, and she reminded me and gave me some other knowledge about just reminding me what life was worth living about, and it's about spreading joy and happiness. It's kind of nonsensical when I say it out loud.
She says, "So you have no will to live?"
Don't mistake my selflessness for martyrdom. I don't plan on killing myself. There's still evil in the world, and I still intend to get rid of it. But I just know that if I should live my life as I should have no repercussions, and I will. And I guess knowing that when I die, I will just end up with her makes things a lot easier than, dying and then ending up like a zombie or worse in the abyss. I don't know about you guys, but death isn't the end for me. I will have another journey beyond that, even if it means it goes against my own accord and will.
I don't think Seven responds. I think that is some heavy shit you just dropped. And I don't think she's ever heard anything like it. That's the first time she's ever heard anything so religious, devout, selfless. So she just takes it in and continues to walk with you. Or
So if there happens to be a big uncomfortable silence after this religious conversation, Dominic kind of goes like at Thanksgiving dinner, there's somebody starts talking about politics or religion, and then somebody else goes, so anyways, I got new rims for my tires, right? So Dominic mentions that he's been tinkering around and has figured out how to put spells into other things. My God, can you imagine the possibilities? He puts spells into other things, and he asks if anybody has any interest in having an experiment, an expeditious retreat, or a detect magic put into their detect magic into their gloves, or an expeditious retreat put into their boots. I can understand that, being new at this, you might be nervous. But
No, go ahead.
Think about the possibilities.
I'll take the expeditious retreat in my boots right now.
So I think I just cast a normal spell. It burns the spell, right? Just like normal. Paul. And I can have a number of prepped spells equal to my intelligence modifier, which is 3.
that should be plus your level as well, I think. Unless you're not a wizard.
He's not a
Okay,
wizard.
limited.
Oh, okay.
The number equals your intelligence modifier. So
Well, you've only got 3 spells.
what?
So you've only got 3 spells at all times, and plus cantrips.
I read this to be that I can have a number of prepped items, right? So we could on the third day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, got you.
On the third day, we could each have expeditious retreat on all of our boots, right? And I would get it back each day. That's how I read it, but I mean, I could be wrong.
That's how I read it too.
Okay, so let's see if we actually need a stop to do that. Artificial spell with casting time of 1 action, you can increase its casting time. When you cast an artificial spell with a casting time of 1 action, you can increase its casting time for 1 minute.
It basically transfers it, and he can use it. It basically transfers to, like, you're putting Expeditious Retreat into Tormoday's boots.
Right.
It takes away a spell slot, but the spell isn't cast. It's on hold until Tormoday activates it.
Oh, does that mean it won't recharge?
No, I was reading it. It's like a prepared spell. Like and therefore after you use the action,
give someone a spell to use at some point. Is that it? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that means I've limited my daily spell casting.
No. You didn't limit it. You're just it's like you're personally casting the spell, but it's not doing the spell. It's lying and waiting. Like so you would get your rest and you would get your spell slot back after using it, but until Tormoday uses the spell, it would still be in the shoes.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. So so we don't have to stop the process. I mean, it's just we stop. He takes off his shoes. It's a couple minutes. It's not like a big long. It's not like a big long process where we have to stop the process of moving down the tunnel. It's like take off your shoes. So
and it only lasts 8 hours though. So he has to use the Expeditious Retreat within the 8 hours.
Okay.
which he'll have 7 hours after this.
Which you'll work on producing a situation where he has to. I'm sure you will.
So
All right,
cool.
so Tormade takes off his shoes and just hands it to him. I guess.
I appreciate
like, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. I'm sure like during this time you all start exchanging shoes, giving it to Tormade or like not Tormade, Dominic and the other thing Dominic said that I forgot what it was.
Sorry, what was the question?
So you're giving Tormade expeditious retreats on his boots, right?
Yes.
And what are you giving 7?
If Seven's interested, I think 7 might be interested. We could cast a detect magic or identify on your gloves.
Those are both good.
Yeah. What does identify do?
It basically does my job of telling you what the thing does, even though I end up telling you anyways.
Like in a video game, you get like a buttload of identify spells, right? You know, identified item can't use until right.
Yeah.
So and the tech magic that lets you know what magic is being used, right?
And if there's something magical.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be handy.
And part of this might be kind of like burning up these spells, but Dominic's fascinated by his new ability to put it into something else. So.
While you were stopping doing all that stuff, I'm not sure if anybody else has anything else to say, but I would ask Dominic to give me back the journal that we got that one cultist was so eager to get back. I'd like to do some reading on that.
Of course. And it turns into a little bit of a scene like a hoarder's house. My mom was a hoarder, so I know. Oh, I got it right here. And he has to pull out a bunch of other items first. Oh, I put it in here somewhere. It's right behind the phone. And there gets to be a little pile. Aha, here it is.
Quail pops.
How did it end up all the way back there?
He just didn't organize his bag of holding very well when he put stuff in. He's got to throw everything in.
Quail pipes up that. Hey, I would like to know about that book too. If you guys, after Tormade is done reading it, kind of want to dig through its lore. Fascinated about the topic.
Paul.
Yeah.
I want to know how it feels as a DM to say there is a tunnel in front of you. Do you want to do some roleplay and then sit there for an hour?
Hey man, I get to do other things too, but I mean that's fine.
This cool shit right in front of you. Like, yeah, I can't wait to do this. That's good.
Yeah, but I also got to hear about your guys' character a bit more.
So you like it? Cool.
It's not like you guys tell me everything anyways. I learned your characters bit by bit as you guys finally tell me about it. So it's like I'm learning about them too. So I'm totally okay with it.
Sweet.
So yeah, Tormade, Dominic gives you the book. Quail asks if he could read it after. And Professor Huffman, after an hour of this whole walking, pipes up again, like, hey guys, we've been walking for a very long time. We haven't seen anything. Are you sure this is worth it? Should we start heading back?
Who says this?
Professor Hoffman. Big old mustache professor dude. Who's been traveling with you guys for a long time but never says anything. He's too busy being amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I checked the map to be sure. I just go, yeah, there's one tunnel leads all the way up here. It hasn't had any turnoffs. Yeah, this seems to be the right way.
Ah, okay. Okay. I would like to get back. You notice he's a bit uneasy, and tends to remain in the light.
Well, Professor, we should be almost done here. We're heading to the source.
Well, good. As long as we get this done, this journey's taking a lot more than I thought it would, and I'm getting nervous. We've seen a lot of things that I can live with not seeing again.
For the first time since we started playing, I'm a little bit suspicious of this guy.
Because he talked? Is
Because
that it?
he said the words that you're saying. I thought, yeah, okay, that's just like me thinking that, but yeah.
I don't know. We could roll insight on him.
I think it's more fun if we don't.
Okay.
That's just me.
And
hold on one frame. Give me
I don't want one natural 20 to like ruin the surprise. If there is one.
all right, so I guess I read the journal.
Alrighty then. This journal is written in basically patch notes of like different things discovered, all these like connections to other things. It's at first it starts talking about like herbs and plants. It's like the druid's personal like chemistry journal, and then at some point it's just like the bunch of blank pages, and then it just flips over to Monder, and it just starts talking about him. And let me just hold on. Gotta flip back to old session notes.
Yeah, I would have read this sooner if I was in the process of dying.
That's fine. So these are notes about something called the rotting god, is what he wrote down. Like he has connections. It has connections to Loth. It after like scratched out writing and like white out and sticky notes he put on top of it was he's like, all right, it's not actually about Loth. It's about this so-called god, this rotting god called Mulder, who used to be in charge of like death and like spreading like sickness and all that stuff, but once he was like killed off, Loth decided to take up his name and start getting her powers from cultists that were thinking they were worshiping him, but are actually worshiping her. But it looks like I finally found his resting place after searching it for so long. It was my job to become protector and like ward off any things from coming in contact with it. He writes down that it's notes about like what's inside Mulder's body isn't what's important. Mulder is actually from the seeds himself that he contains within inside him, that no matter how many times he's killed, he always keeps coming back as long as there's seeds of him that exist. When they like petrified his body and like contained it in the underground vault, they whatever remaining seeds he had left in him are still only ones remain. Like the last seeds throughout the world were still there, and he thought that if he kept like alert wards down there, kept watch over it until like he grew of old age, he could pass it on to the next druid and like the next cleric and so on. He's like from a generation that they they grow up to take this task to be like they're not protectors of this forest, they're just protectors of no one getting close to him. His main source of like power are from his black seeds. If they're ever planted, they will grow uh, a demonic tree, which will keep producing more seeds. And these seeds are what, once someone ingests these seeds, are infected with the rotting god's plague, where they'll act totally normal. If you see them in a crowd, you'll never be able to distinguish someone from them. The only thing that you have that can point them out is every one of Mulder's followers has a yellow and pink flower growing out of their ear. All the organs are replaced with their blood is changed into sap and green, like green blood. They are themselves, but are in total control of Mulder until they die or Mulder wishes them to be released. It says like the cult of Mulder has like apparently has been spotted here and there, but they seem like fanatics because they've never seen the plants hanging out of their ears. And it starts talking about how there's a time limit when someone ingests a seed. Like if their seed's forced down, they have a time limit of how fast they have to get it out. They have exactly 1 minute to remove the seeds from their body, and they won't become infected or raised from the dead. So if they can extract the seeds before then, they can save themselves. But this is just a theory. And when you read that part in the journal, you are then reminded of you saw Aldurin with his stomach cut open while he was laying on the floor. So, and you could piece those two together. Wouldn't be that hard. His last year's like for right now, there's no real way to stop Mulder other than eliminating his cult and destroying as all the seeds you can. Once he plants himself, the area around him will start to decay as his presence starts ruining the natural life around itself. It will never expand farther than it needs to remain a secret and that's as far as he's written down for things. That's it. Basically, that's like a summary of all his notes together.
Here, Quill. How about it?
Okay, thank you. And he's gonna stay back just reading the whole book.
I start just kind of listing off the important details. To everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't Other than that, I don't think there's really anything else for us to say or do. So
If no one has anything to say, we're gonna skip ahead.
Okay, I'm going to. I need to call the girlfriend real quick. Her phone just kapooted, so I need to give her a call before she leaves work here.
All right.
Sorry about that.
not a problem.
It's so weird how tied to these fucking things we are. You're like, I don't know. I'm. So I remember, like, you call somebody, you leave a message, and you make plans, and you're like, well, maybe I'll, you know what I mean? But now it's like, oh my God, I can't text you. Are you dead? It's so weird. So weird.
Well, with that information dump, let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and deal with this.
Okay.
Information dump of 3-4 sessions ago.
Anyone here?
I'm here.
So that was a little bit of a bombshell I just put on everyone. That was fun.
Bombshell that was never written. I was wondering if, like, you guys got the book. Are you ever gonna read that? If not, then I'm just gonna have to give you the hint some other way.
Well, I mean, we kind of knew most of them.
Yeah.
But now that we know he's a tree specifically, is it? We just have to know if we put him. Did they put him on the ground or did they put him on the surface? I mean, it doesn't matter because even if he's on the surface and he's near the water supply, we can just throw fire at his roots or something.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be up on the surface like, they should have found us by now. We're just sitting underground throwing fire at the roots.
They're just twiddling them thumbs like, I thought they would be here by now.
Moaned
Weren't you
just
glowing green?
burst into flames.
Weren't you glowing green? Weren't you glowing green earlier? I thought they were tracking you guys. Why aren't they here yet?
I'm back.
Right? And an Oxback, right? Damn it. I thought I heard him come back and he just didn't say anything again. Poop. Oh shit, the time.
Say that nothing's
Okay.
really happened so far. I've really enjoyed the session so far.
So, what do you think of everything I said to you?
Me as Ben.
Both Ben and Seven.
So Ben thinks you're being very vague, and I'd like to know a bit more. And I
I'm
guess
purposely being vague because I sold my soul for this knowledge, and I'm not just going to tell you.
yeah, I think like you sold your soul. That's pretty fucked up. Seven's like I say, she's never really heard of anything so fucking ridiculous in her life that you give your life for a god. And she's pondering it now. I'm pondering it in character, so she can respond later. Because I don't know how she would feel about that. She's like never hearing of something, and then someone just turning around and saying, "Yeah, so there's a god that I love." Like I feel that
Well,
strongly.
he doesn't love her. It's just,
Sounds like love to me.
well, I mean, she's fucking probably
She's
the most
just a
beautiful thing
friend,
you've ever
guys.
seen ever. She's just a friend I know who lives in the woods. No big deal. She's probably hotter than the fucking stars that I study, but you know.
Yeah, interesting for Seven that you keep on talking about stars as well. I haven't decided how long it's been since I haven't decided how long she's been on the surface before she got into the wood. But maybe I'm not sure if she's even seen stars yet. So just to hear about them is quite interesting.
Well, yeah, my character, a little known fact is that he's a astronomer. So he studies the stars.
Yeah, that's cool. And for that purpose, I'm going to say she's never seen them. That's more interesting.
Are you
That's
back
why
and
I
knock?
added-
Damn it! I thought you came back. All right, keep going. Sorry.
That's why I added that little bit, like the sun is also a star. It's just much closer.
Yeah, and she didn't respond because she doesn't know.
What the fuck's a sun?
I think she knows just what a sun is, but like to say like the sun is a star and not just a burning fireball in the sky.
Yeah,
Burning
it's just,
fireball that hurts
it's
my
just a
eyes every day.
delayed fireball from like a level 100 wizard. It's just yet to hit us.
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's on the way in 1d100 rounds.
He finally classed it, but it's so fucking large that it can't move anywhere.
Oh, I can hear
It's
a knock on the
developed
phone.
its own gravity
Yeah.
control, so it just can't go anywhere. It's just stuck in place.
Or it is going, but it's going really slowly, and it'll take a bunch of campaigns to finally get there.
That's the last one. It's basically going to be Majora's Mask. The sun is finally crisping up the fucking planet. And we have like
Spoilers.
20 fucking find a way to get rid of it.
In the original concept of Warcraft, that was the thing I did write down as like, this could be one of the like big campaigns. You're fighting the sun that's coming towards you. But I lost all my notes, so I don't remember how that game would have ended.
Like just the sun getting close to the earth would just turn us all into bacon.
Yeah.
Forget it.
And it would take
Yes.
someone like to realize, hey, isn't it getting hotter here?
I'm gonna be here, so whatever you decide, I'll work it out.
Is the sun getting closer? We should investigate
It's
this.
not even like all the people studying the stars and shit. It's just a commoner like, oh god, it's slightly hotter than yesterday.
No, it's a farm boy who's like, why? Like all my crops keep dying. Why is that?
They're all just smoking.
There's one more thing I thought about what you said about and I think Seven touched on it, that you weren't afraid. Not only were you not afraid to die, like you weren't afraid to put yourself in a position where you would die almost willy nilly.
Yeah. I
Yeah. I think she said something like, yeah, like you're not don't care about living or something. But for me,
well, he wants to live. He doesn't. He's not going to let the fear of death hold him back.
Yeah, I think you said something like that as well. Yeah, it's interesting. Like if you don't fear death, if you know that after you die, it's going to be all sweet. It's an interesting like parody. Is that the word? There's definitely a word
For what?
for like not caring, like not caring. Like for, if you're going to die, you no, if you're going to die and you know that you're going to be with that woman that you love, not love. So would that make you make silly decisions?
I
Do you
think
know what I mean? Like,
I feel like as a person, it would make. I would think it more. I was like, it wouldn't make me do silly decisions. It's just like I'm not as afraid. I know where I'll be.
Yeah, you're like totally. You're sure of every decision.
Yeah,
This is what I need to do, and if I die, so be it.
If so be it, I get a bonus.
Yeah,
it's just the start of a new beginning for me.
Yeah, that's cool. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't think.
I feel like that's what. I feel like that's the Torma they're trying to get across.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I just think that I don't know if Seven. I don't know how like the actual drow work, like in terms of D&D, like whatever. But I imagine that the drow gods are more like I say, like feared and respected. The actual things, aren't they? Like avatars.
Well, I mean, technically, all gods have avatars of themselves.
Ah, okay.
It's just that I would say that drow have it more. The avatars they have more ways to describe their avatars. More ways to
There's a giant spider lady that lives under this hole that we keep throwing bodies at.
Yeah, a lot of that, yeah. Whether you know that thing's there or not.
They also see that driders are a sign of their god's presence. So just having driders around,
yeah,
even though they can be pretty common at times, that's a sign of their deity's presence. So that's another way that they describe their avatars.
I always found it funny that was the only description I know of Lost from after reading a book. Lost in this giant hole under a drow city where all drow cities have this giant hole connected to Lost, and they just throw sacrifices down the hole so Lost can eat them. I was like, that's so stupid. It's just big fat spider lady. It's like, hum. Sure, you can have magic. Here, just give me more bodies.
Well, that goes back to an interesting theological question. Is she actually at the point of a spider lady when she's consuming the bodies, or is she just this spirit entity in some sort of realm at that point, right? Does she just take that form so that she's comprehensible to a humanoid, right? You know what I mean? Like it, or is she just some sort of energy like it or whatever, or you know what I mean? That the spider only comes when she needs to be comprehensible to humanoid creatures, right? I mean that goes back to real world.
That would suck in a boss battle, right? You're fighting Loth, and she goes like, all right, these guys are kicking my asses. I'm just going to turn into a god and just blow their minds up, literally.
Yes. Yeah.
Boom! See me in my true form. Oh, my God!
I mean, I imagine that's what it's like fighting a god. You shouldn't be able to fight one.
Well, in 3.5 you could, but there are some gods that...
In D&D, you can fight a god. I just find
There
it
was,
funny that
you would
you,
one on
if
one, you wouldn't be able to really beat them because they have so much stats and their artifacts that they can just make. Some of them can just will into existence, really.
right.
Then
I just
there's
feel like
others
that should
where,
be like their ultimate move. Like, all right, you guys are kicking my ass. It's fine. Fuck you. Boom, mind blown.
well, the other move, the one move that some of them had, but I think it's just charisma-based gods. They had a move called Awesome Presence or
Oh
something
shit,
like
I
that.
remember
Awesome.
awesome. It's
And
it's awesome form. I think it was what it called. I
it's
read
just
that
a
in like
it's just an aura, and basically, if you couldn't beat their charisma-based save, so it was a will save, you would just straight out die. Like you couldn't be near them, or because their presence was just too awesome, and you would die.
I thought it said like if you because I was reading 3 when I first started playing D&D, like 4E, I was like these monsters suck. I'm gonna look at the old editions. Oh, third edition has a lot of crazy monsters. I'll take some of those and stat them out. I hate it for you, but when I was reading about the gods, it said something to the form of like when when they enter their awesome form, no matter what you believe in, you basically become a worshiper of them, and you will quit fighting them. You become their worshiper.
Uh, no, I think that's just a thing that could happen in general.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a thing for NPCs.
Anyways, I thought it was funny. It's like, boom, I'm awesome. Love me. All right, so after walking for literally 2 hours, you arrive on train like railroad tracks, and you continue walking for another like 20 minutes, and you see this giant metal, like what seems like a steel barrel in front of you. You can like crawl around it, but it's just this large steel barrel with some like uh what look like legs sticking out of it, and it's just sitting there. There's some plants growing off of it. There's some it's like it seems to have like produced some moss that it's growing off its legs. And there's just this huge contraption in front of you.
I kind of just look back to Dominic.
Let me look at this. Let me again. Can I get any sort of information, understanding of what I'm looking at here?
Roll me either a history check or an intelligence check or an arcane check. Either any of them will do.
Pulling out die right now, but this time I actually have the die sitting right next to my computer.
I can help if he's rolling arcane or history.
Okay.
I'll probably do arcane because that's where I'm strong.
He's strong.
I got 13 to help him.
Just double check and make sure that's where. Yeah, Arcana and history is just pretty much the same for me. 11.
So together it's Tormade. So you look at this thing and you're trying to figure out what it is, and the word that comes to mind is an apparatus, and you're like some sort of apparatus, and it clicks for Tormade. It's an apparatus of Kali. It's like an apparatus for Kali. It's a digging machine where it's the shape of a beetle basically, and it creates large tunnels and holes in the ground, and you can dig through them while riding inside of it.
Huh. Neat. I'm not going to tell anybody. I just get in.
There's at the butt. There's a door. It's a metal door, and it has a large keyhole lock, and the door is locked.
Unless we have some sort of key, I don't think we'll be able to use this thing.
Do I see him try to get in and get stuck at the door?
What's that? Sorry.
We're sitting there right next to each other, right?
Yeah.
So I see him trying to get in, right? And get stuck at the door, right?
Yeah.
Try this, my friend. And I pull out the that gear key that I had from before.
Tormund takes it, puts it in the lock, and it clicks open. Opening the hat, you notice that it has room for two people. One to control the movement, and one to operate all the switches that are inside of it.
I would say that Dominic and Professor Hoffman should go in there.
Oh, fascinating!
Yeah,
he's already climbing. It's like, oh, this is wonderful.
Total geek out moment.
I wonder what this lever does. And he switches a lever down, and the legs retract, and the whole metal ton just falls onto the ground. Tormund, roll me a dex save to have your foot not crushed.
Oh my god. No, that's my shit save. Oh, I got an 18. Whew.
18. So you notice the legs retract in, and you go shit, and move your foot out of the way. And it just slams on the ground, and dust kicks off a bit. Professor Hoffman peeks over oh, sorry. I was just so excited.
Yeah, I bet you tell all the ladies that, and I step away from it. I close the door on them so they can have their fun. Actually, who has the map?
You have the map.
I give it to Dominic. I say dig us the rest of the way, I guess.
Oh, the tunnel continues. There's just this giant thing here.
Oh. Well, move it out of the way so we don't have to squeeze through.
How is this thing manned? Is it driven with many gears and steampunk levers?
Yep, there's a bunch of levers, and there's these two walking handles. Think of those walking exercises where you move your right arm forward and your back leg back. It's like you're walking, but instead of moving your legs, you're just sitting in a console and just moving up and down your arms as a walking motion.
Yeah.
And the other person would be in charge of all the levers that this machine can do.
Is it advised? Yeah. I'm sure it's advisable to read the manual. But should we take any time to familiarize ourselves? Say, everybody get back for a little bit, and so we don't crush anybody, but and so we can figure out how to maneuver and use this thing.
You find a manual that's written in Dwarven,
which I can read, right?
Yep.
So
it basically it lists off the 10 levers it has. One controls the legs coming in and out of the body. One controls the window sides to open or close. One controls the forward screen to open or close. One controls extended claws that could come out in front of the apparatus or retract them. One can can make those claws that extend out, punch out, ranged attacks with springs, and bring themselves back. it can turn this apparatus from a walking machine into a boat type machine or a sink go underwater machine. Another lever controls it turning 90 degrees and then turning 90 degrees back. The eighth lever controls the lights that peer out of the eyes of the apparatus and turns them off. The ninth controls the density in water of how dense it can go and hold itself to capacity. And the last lever controls the door opening or closing the butt. I can send you a list of all these things later.
Cool. I'm going to tell everybody to step back for a little bit, spend enough time familiarizing ourselves with it so we don't crush or kill anybody, but then promptly get ready to move on or whatever.
So you guys just want to sit out here for a bit? Or do you want to move on while Dominic works this thing out?
Yeah, let us get around you, and then we'll scout ahead.
Okay.
And I squeeze around it to get to the other side.
So,
I'm gonna follow. It makes a difference.
the dust. Quill yells back there "Hey, I'll stay back here. I'll see to them see how this works out." So as you're scooting towards, your clothes get a little dirty from the rust that's been on this thing for so long. But other than that, you squeeze through, make it to the other side, and it looks like it's in the shape of a giant beetle.
How convenient. Guess we know where this thing came from.
Is that a character statement?
Oh, yeah.
Explain. I'm sorry.
Can he not see the tunnel that's from where he's sitting? Or is there a part where he can see out of?
He can see from the eye fixtures pointing forward where you guys are now.
I just kind of point my mace to how the tunnel is shaped like the beetle.
So once we've got this worked out a little bit, I recommend that maybe we proceed with the beetle first. I mean, if you guys return or we catch up or if there's an opportunity for this to work out, we maybe proceed first, and then how many people can fit in this thing?
2.
All right, that maybe we proceed first to have, a metal meat shield.
Well,
or we can take up the rear, as protected. I mean, either one's fine.
Well, I'd rather you stay behind us because that way we can scout out if there's any hazards. Because I'm not sure what that thing is capable of.
Good plan. All right.
And plus, it might be more useful to keep it around and have it destroyed against. Well, we know they can cast fireball, so.
Okay. Good plan. All right.
So it's gonna take you since you and Hoffman are gonna be the ones learning it, it's gonna take you a while to figure it out. You'll get the movement down, what each lever can do, or you can just take it out now. It'll take at least an hour for you guys to learn all this and coordinate how each thing works. So they can scout ahead for an hour if that's what you want.
Does that sound like a good plan? And then you guys come back. I mean, I guess we're kind of retconning that we talked about this before. You guys took off down the dark.
Just a quick question. Is that can it hold 2 medium creatures or is it 2 people, period?
2 medium creatures.
So Quail could hide with them.
If he needs to, yeah.
Yeah, if they're all small creatures, so he can hide in it too.
All right.
And then me and
So,
Seven can take lead.
all right. So as you
I mean-
guys can.
It's cool, Paul. Go. Sorry.
Okay. So while you, Seven and Tom Tormade, you're going to continue down in the tunnel, and you guys are walking side by side. It gets quieter. You see that the raft has been much better. Like you started your walk, it's been constructed a bit better. Like this is basically where they spent most of their times coming in and out of this tunnel to continue working. Whoever was down here. You continue walking down, and you start noticing that there's thickness. It's like been 30 minutes. And there's starting to be like more spider webs here and there. As like things have been here for so long that they've made their nests. So you're like cutting through spider webs or like poking your flaming sword or mace in front of it. Well, poking the sword or sword or mace to cut through the webbing. It's not huge, it's just a lot of it. And you're getting closer in, and you see about like 10 minutes, and you start seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Do you wish to continue forward or head back now?
I just want to check to make sure there isn't any giant spiders roaming around here.
Well, from where you are right now, no. It'll take another 20 minutes to reach the end of this tunnel.
I don't know, Seven. Should we wait for them? We can just wait here until they catch up.
Sorry. I like to imagine that we're sort of like walking down the tunnel, blah blah blah. She starts seeing the light, and then we hesitate. And I'd love it if that was it a beetle construct. You just hear it like like start like falling down the tunnel, however it moves, and it comes up behind us before we even have to make a decision whether to go back, stay, move on.
It's gonna take a while.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
It just sounds cool in my head.
You could hear it coming, but it's gonna take a while before it gets there.
Okay, so I just imagine Seven like
you feel like it's much you think it's much faster than it actually is.
Yeah, like she hears like it echo down the hall, down the down the tunnel, and she sort of her ears prick up, and she looks behind her, and she doesn't see it, but she can hear it.
Yeah, like if you after a while you would hear like the clanking of the machine coming back to life. Tormade figuring out how like to operate this thing a little bit. They still need some time to like nail down the operation, but they feel like they can start getting moving and like talk about it on the way.
Okay, so I would say they seem to be on their way. What is that? She looks at the light. Let's go a little further.
Has anybody read
A book.
No. Actually, the Ghost in the Shell, like not seeing the movie, but read that they have these strange beetle robots. I'm kind of imagining this as like more
think of the spider robots. They're basically that.
cool.
But much longer instead of taller.
Cool. All right.
Like instead of their tube being pointed up, it's pointed to the side.
Solid. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
So, do you guys want to go forward?
I think it would be wise to stay grouped, but I guess we can see what the light is coming from. And I start heading up towards the light.
So you begin walking, cutting through the web, and you reach this large opening into what seems like a small cavern. You see webs everywhere. You see huts built into the side of the canyon. There's this large hole in the bottom, like on the bottom ground, where it seems you can't see the bottom of this weird mist, and you see this large waterfall from the left side, just coming down into the valley, and you see this black muck in the water also coming down. You see a bunch of wooden houses near the waterfall that some have been like broken down into. Some of them have like over the years fallen over. Some of them still intact. And you see like basically a work area where here's all the iron bars that we're going to take down into the tunnel. Here's where all these boxes of equipment are, food supplies. And then you see near like the edge, like in the middle of this whole cavern area, is a small 5x5 hut, 5x5 foot hut with a large door in it, and it's just standing in the middle of this cavern. That's all you see.
Seems to be drawing its attention to us. I'm gonna see. I say you better cover your eye, and I'm gonna turn on the headlamp to get a better look of the place.
You see this place light up a bit more, and the light from your headlight beams into the waterfall, and it like illuminates this place more. There seems to be a few tents scattered around. They were near more the shadows. There seems to be skeletal bodies laying around here and there. Most of them dwarven shaped. Do you continue into the tavern, or you're just looking from the tunnel?
Just looking from it.
All right, that's about all you see. Don't really see much. And you see at the other side of is another tunnel leading deeper into wherever it's going.
Well, I gave my map to Dominic, so I turn off the headlamp, and I kind of just hang it off my belt now. Where should we start?
Paul, you said like dwarven.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that is it dwarven? Can I do like a check? The only thing I want to really know is it not Stroud?
What are you checking though?
Like the construction of these huts.
You would have to get closer to actually inspect them. From far away from where you are, they're like 60 feet away from you and like 30 feet up, and they're scattered around. They are too far from where you're standing to actually look from away.
Okay. I would like to get close enough to something to close enough to a piece of like a constructed piece of hut or whatever to see if it is not Stroud.
So you're getting closer, and there seems to be the way these houses are built. It's like a mixture of dwarven and drow. Like they work together to because the way they're built is they are cruelly made. Like someone made these houses, but they aren't in the best constructed way, like the drow houses. But the way that they're still attached to the wall are someone told them how to make their houses stay in the wall for this long. Like someone taught them for like to really structure your house, your like little hut, and attached to the wall. This is how you do it. But the way their houses are made are wrong. They're not drow in nature. They're crude, like shoved together.
So these are not drow houses?
No,
Can I? Maybe I don't know enough.
you're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm trying to wait for you, man.
I'm thinking that it's a. I mean, this out of game. I'm thinking, are these the rock or the Snurblefurfen houses? So when I get there, but I don't. But also, just from role play, we determined that I didn't know too much about them, right? So
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to. So just clarify that it seems like some of it is drow in nature, but dwarvenly built, or so. This is my thing. I'm just trying to make sure that this isn't like.
Uh-huh.
So this is how Seven's thinking. She's thinking like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then all of a sudden, it's like, is there another drow city or a drow colony that has come this far up and is like mining shit?
Right, I understand that. What you see from like where you're standing and everything's so far high up, you get the idea that someone they built it like with the idea of like these are going to be our place of work, here's your homes, and they were told how to make them stay up into the wall canyon, but they weren't made by drow. Someone told them how to do it though.
Someone told the drow how to do it.
No, someone told the dwarves that made it how to do it.
Okay.
Like the skill to have it still hanging up there is drow in nature.
Okay. But the structures aren't drow in nature.
Right.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it for me, questions wise.
Tornado, are you going to go into the canyon or just wait by the tunnel?
Fine. Let's go into the hut in the middle.
The hut in the middle?
Yeah.
You feel a warm feeling as you're getting closer to this door, and there's dwarven writing on it, and then there's a handle on it. There's a doorknob. There's dwarven writing on like the door frame, and then there's the door. It feels like if you think of a porta potty, it's like you would walk into a porta potty. It looks that small. The size of a porta potty with a door on it. And you feel warm when you get close to it.
I don't like this one bit. I turn on my headlamp. I put it on my head, and I'm gonna. So, there's a door on it. I
Yeah.
open it.
When you open it, 7. You're still looking at the houses, right?
If you say so.
Oh fuck!
Right. Okay, you're not paying attention to this. Tormade, you open the door and you like see a large flash of light. When you open your eyes, you're in this large wooden like room. There's some tables scattered about. Like there's a guy in the back playing with cards. You see this bar stand with some chairs. You see a barmaid walking around, clean the tables and you see like, fuck, what's that guy? You see like a bartender behind the counter cleaning out cups, and he, without looking up, he was like, "Ah, Mr. Stonebreaker, I'm glad you're back." Oh, you're not Mr. Stonebreaker. Good evening.
I turn off my headlamp. No, I'm not.
Oh, greetings. This is, well, we haven't had visitors in a while. Come in, come in, come in. Welcome to the Interdimensional Inn, or Insta Inn for short. I don't like that name as much, but it's our little shop within a. The door behind you is closed, and you see 7 doors next to it, aligned on the back wall. And your door has the number 4 on it.
Okay. I'm looking around at everyone else.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna look at the other patrons because
There's
There are
only one patron in a hood playing cards in the back. Just the barmaid like wiping down tables, and then there's the bartender that's behind the booth.
all right. I'm gonna put my headlamp back on my belt, and I'm going to walk to the hooded figure.
The hooded figure like looks up at you and is like, "Oh, you're here to play a game." And he produces a bunch of cards.
What kind of game am I expecting to play?
A game of fate. A game of mystery. A game of chance.
Why not? And I sit down across from him.
All right. This is going to take a really long time, so I'm going to drop you for now since we're about to end this session.
Yeah.
7. Or in this, still in this cavern. You look back to talk to Tormade, and he's not there. You
Yeah,
just
I
see this
imagine
large
like
wooden.
being a drow, like I would see like the flash.
Actually, you don't see the flash. You didn't see any flash.
It's too quick. Yeah, so I just look back and he's gone. Do I see like a door like wiggle or anything?
Nope, you just see this closed hut. What do you want to do?
I want to go into the hut, but I want to know. Like, did I see him like walk towards the hut or?
No, you were inspecting the draw things. You just saw him like looking around. After a while, you saw him like come in. Since you can't be surprised, your eye patch allows you to see everything in a 360 angle. When you're still getting used to it, but you saw him come in. Like the moment you saw movement, he came into the room. He was looking around and he was looking around the hut. But since you're still not like 100% used to it yet, you try to focus your eyes again back onto the
Yeah.
weird huts. Like your left eye is going crazy, bouncing around each gem, and trying to get used to it. And you just keep trying to.
Yeah.
You're trying to focus it back onto having 2 eyes again.
Yeah. So I imagine that I at least saw him like snooping around an area.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, I would look to where I thought he was, and he isn't there. And I would scan the cavern, like where I'd look at the entrance, the entrance where we came in, first and foremost. He isn't there. Don't do that.
Well, what?
Roll dice. So she would, I guess, walk towards. That's a good question, actually. How do I miss a headlamp wearing light mace wielding high elf?
Do you walk towards the hut?
Yeah, sure.
You get this warm, homely feeling, like while you're getting close to it. You feel safe and warm when you're near it. Do you open the door?
Um, I'm just a bit smarter than opening doors, but I can't see any problem with it. Yeah, why not?
Bright, flashing light. And the door closes behind you, and you're in this tavern. Number 4 closes behind you, and you see far into the tavern is Tormade sitting in front of a hooded figure that's shuffling cards in front of him. And the bartender looks up and goes like, "Oh, hey, new visitor. Wow, that's 2 in a day. Would you like a drink? Would you like to stay the night? Want us to clean your armor? You want us to do? Like, what kind of service can we provide for you?"
She says, I would like a moment. She sort of nods to the bartender.
That's fine by us. Take your time. This is home to all. And he goes back to cleaning a cup.
Yeah, she scans. I imagine she looks around the room, and then her eyes go to Tormund sat at this table. She approaches the table and puts her hand on like the middle of his back, and she says, but she leans in actually and she whispers, "Fuck is this place?"
Your clue is as good as mine.
You're interested in a game of chance, a game of fate? He's hooded a figure. He has a mask over his mouth, and you can only see his eyes. These bright yellow eyes.
Yeah. I do not intend to trust anyone with yellow eyes ever.
Always a good plan. Always a good plan.
7 says we should leave. Surely this is not. Is this normal from where you're from? I've never seen anything or heard anything like this.
The hooded figure looks up at 7 and then looks at Dorian like, I mean, you did just sit down. I was kind of getting excited, really. If you must go, you must go. We can't hold you here. I'll be leaving in a couple of days, anyways.
Well, speak your piece then. What cards are those?
These are cards of fate. These changes your destiny, reveals things about you you didn't even know you had. Well, granted, you will be put in situations where you would risk your life, but the knowledge and power you gain from it will astound you.
Well, I guess I might as well double up on the usual business then. Give me a card.
He smiles, and with magic, he seems to be flipping the cards around, shuffling it well, and then pulls the deck in front of you.
I'm going to take 2.
And you'll find out what those are next session.
Fuck.
All right, back to Dominic.
I feel bad for him because nobody's there.
Dominic, you finally got this machine to work, and you're clanking down the tunnel. Professor Hoffman is excitedly looking through the manual, looking at each thing. It's like, Dominic, do you see this? This is fascinating technology. The dwarves must have amazing craftsman skills to be able to build something this large, this is amazing. Why haven't we ever seen any of these?
I think we need to get out of Flux and Flicker more often. I think we are bubbled in our own. I think we're blinded by our own compartmentalized academic schools of thought. This is exactly why we need to expand our knowledge and understanding of other types of learning and communicate more with those outside of our little bubbles.
I thought we were ahead of the curve here. I thought we were like pushing technology forward, but I never learned about this. And he's just like tapping this large metal container. This is amazing.
I agree. I definitely he's very excited, but he's and I don't know if the professor's smart enough to get this, but he's losing respect for the professor slowly by attrition over this whole thing. Is wanting to kind of like chicken out and go back, and also Dominic is starting to learn that his everything he's been taught, sometimes this happens when you go to university. You're like, wow, maybe that was a reflection of my own Freudian slip or my own experiences. But he's realizing that the professor's smart, but maybe not an innovator, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he's still super excited. He's just as excited about the new toy as the professor. I mean, you can't be an inventor, a tech guy, and not just be totally fascinated by this.
Quail pipes up. You know what's really fascinating? This guy known as Mulder. He's like, I know what Tomade told us is like, he's this all-powerful being but the thought of someone that could control you is, don't you think it's like liberating in some kind of way?
Something that can control you?
Yeah, you don't have to think about things as much, right? I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's just like the piece of what Tormade said, the piece of knowing where you will belong isn't like meaning something like this. Wouldn't this make people like more peaceful, more safe with their decisions in life?
I hesitantly say, yes, I can see that argument and hide my own uncomfortability with the prospective religious conversion that I'm seeing going on here. It makes me uncomfortable, but I don't feel like voicing it to him at this juncture.
So you agree, right? Wouldn't it be better just to join him?
I wouldn't say I agree, but I definitely see what you're saying. Intellectually, yes, of course.
It's just that I feel like the wonders he's presenting is something we should really look into.
Boom. It's going to be hard. My own personal opinions not bleeding out the Dominic. Oh my God, it's making it uncomfortable.
Are you saying this to him?
No. I'm of the opinion that we should keep our eyes open, learn more. I see where you're coming up from on this, but
no, I feel like I've learned enough. I feel like I found my path. Hey, I think I'm gonna get off here. And he just starts opening the door. Is that cool with you? Hey, no, wait, better idea. Why don't you come with me?
Come with
you too, Professor Mr. Hoffman. You could come with me too.
To
Professor.
where?
Whatever. I don't know. I just something tells me we should just go back. And I need
Go back to where?
our home. And
Flux
he,
and
like you
Flicker?
see him like give this long smile. Yeah, our home.
Flux and Flicker? Is that what you're speaking of?
That's not my home.
Where is this home you speak of? Do you mean home in the spiritual realm or a physical
To
place?
Moldor. Yeah,
Okay,
I
pause for a second here, Paul.
okay.
Is this an out for this character from a?
I won't tell you that. I won't tell you anything.
Okay, because I would be if this was like sort of
You're playing your character. You're playing your
like,
character. Whatever you feel is right, you can act upon it. But this is what he is saying to you right now.
Dude, this is like your friend saying like, oh, like, let's all go fucking join this fucking cult in the desert. They've got Kool-Aid.
So we're jumping right back in.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't your out for like trying to like get rid of this character as a GM, and I just let him go. Okay, so this is something I need to think about here. You know, I think here. Let me look at my character sheet and see if I have any anti-religious brainwashing potions in my bag. You know, as I'm thinking this over, I do my best to talk to him and go, well, let's just think about this and talk through this here for a moment. What are the pros and cons here? To buy myself a little bit more time to try and, as a character, gauge what he does. He have that? Can I do an insight roll to see if he has that strange twinkle in his eye that
you can
people have sometimes?
You can.
I can't tell if he's. I rolled a 5, so I can't really tell if he's like seriously crazy brainwashed or he's actually going through some sort of personal.
He looks completely normal, but certain of what he's saying. And he jumps out of the door. Guys, you gotta come. This is amazing. I feel like I've been awoken. And like he holds the book close to him. Like there are things that we don't know about yet. And after talking to Hoffman for so long, I feel like I've learned something. And Hoffman looks at you and like looks back at him.
Wait, can I ask you to wait? Slow down for a moment. Just talk to me. Get back.
We're talking. No. We shouldn't go forward. We gotta stay here.
Stay here? Just
no.
Not move?
We gotta move. You're right. I'm sorry. We gotta move.
Come
on, guys.
Where do you want to go to physically? I understand that spiritually you want to go to Mulder, but how do we get there? What is your plan?
I don't know. I don't know. And he's just like grabbing his head, holding it close. Like, I don't know, but something's pulling me there, and I just need to go. You guys have to come with me. Come on. Don't read the chat. Focus.
What?
Don't read the chat. Focus.
Can I figure out some way to try and, geez, how can I knock him out? How can I? Is there some sort of like incapacitating something I can do? I mean, like if this was like a friend of mine in real life, I would fucking do whatever I could.
Persuasion. You have persuasion. A way to knock it, like that's to talk to him. To knock him out, you have weapons. There's a way that you can deal damage at non-lethal to knock him out.
Okay, I am going to try and talk him in staying.
Okay.
Just to like, and from a role play standpoint, just I understand, and I want to help him get to where he wants to go. But I think if we planned and are smart about this, we can actually get there faster, more efficiently. Stay with me. Trust me on this one. I'll do what I can to
Roll persuasion.
3. I'm going to burn a inspiration.
All right.
So I got 8.
8 plus
2.
plus 2.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I feel like this is the right thing to do. If you don't want to come, that's fine. Just say so, but I feel like I found my path.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right on this one.
All right then. I'll see you guys soon.
Can I see the book and see if I can figure out
No,
any,
you can't see the book.
But I think I can get us to Mulder more expeditiously.
That is a real gnome word, okay?
What?
Quicklier.
Quicklier. That's a real word in the gnome language. Yes, you're right.
Roll me persuasion again.
You're doing great, man. You're doing great.
3, 8, 3. Jesus fucking Christ.
Change the fucking dice.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I'm going to burn another inspiration here.
Okay.
I don't know how much of it's ego and how much of it I think this is vital. And I'm digging out a new dice here. Yes, you're right. As quickly as possible to begin a new dice. See, there we go. 15 plus 2. I went to the smoky black die. That was what did it. I was using my elf semen die, which is like sparkly and it looks like elf semen. So 17 total.
He looks at the book and looks back at you. That book showed me so much. Maybe it will help you. No, I can't give you the book. I'm not supposed to give you the book. We have the book. But you really want to, you might change, but, and he seems like he's fighting himself over it. And I could give it a book. He could change, but there's so much in the book that hasn't been read yet. I need to know. And he looks up at you. Will you really read it? Will you really change?
I'll read it. Yes, for sure. I'll read it. I mean, this seems to be a huge transformation for you. Yeah, I'll look at it.
Roll me one more persuasion.
12.
Friends need it, but Mulder, he wants it. Okay. Here, take, and he slowly hands you the book. Read it and come. Yes, it's for the right thing.
So let me sit down and look at this here. And so I sit down. He's outside of the beetle. You just said that.
Yep.
I sit down and I slam shut the door.
You hear the large bang. You're like, you lie.
I didn't lie. I didn't lie. I'm reading the book, and I sit down and I
open the door. Open the door.
Now I don't know if I have gloves or not.
You do.
Okay.
As an inventor, you usually work with your hands, so you have gloves.
Right. Am I holding? I mean, I guess I can say this. I want to hold the book with with gloves. Did I see him wearing gloves?
Yeah. And
what? He was wearing gloves.
yes, he was wearing gloves, and Tormade was probably also wearing gloves.
Fuck.
I wear gauntlets.
Yeah, he wore gauntlets.
So my idea is that there's something visually in the book. I mean, I know you can't tell me, but this is where my brain's going. If there's something visually in the book as opposed to contact, can I communicate? Is there like any sort of speaker or anything through this?
Yeah. There's like a little mic that you could talk outside of it.
Right, that's what I imagined. I say, be calm. I'm looking at the book here. I just need a little bit more time.
He told us not to trust you. He told us.
Everything's fine. I just need some time to look at the book, and you were a little bit too excited. If this is indeed truth, I just fucking trying to fucking logic with religious zealot. Fuck. Okay. I try and tell him that you know that
Your hands are starting to feel numb.
I need some more time with the book, and just let me eyeball the book. But I'm not actually reading the book. I'm wanting some extra time to kind of see what is happening with him. I'm not getting into the book for sure.
Okay. Your hands are starting to feel numb, and your body feels like tingly.
I dropped the book in the fucking bag of holding.
In the what?
In the bag of holding.
All right. The book's in there. You still feel tingliness. Your hair's starting to stick up. Hoffman looks around like, what the fuck's going on?
Does it feel like electricity in the air? Like something's changing inside of this?
It does feel like it.
And Hoffman is experiencing. I'm like, Hoffman, are you feeling this too?
Yeah. What is? It's like electric in here. Does this run on electricity?
I don't know.
Tormade. I mean, not Dominic.
Yeah.
As the whole becomes electrified, you take. Oh shit! I roll high. 11 damage. As this whole like metal tanker starts sparking as Quail is conducting electricity through the metal plating, and he starts shouting, "Open the door!"
Now, how? If I don't know this, how is he doing this? Is this like a spell, or is this something?
You're not quite sure.
Okay, but
you didn't see him. You didn't see him do anything. The door is closed. You know he's there. You can only hear him.
And I have not seen him do anything like this before, prior to this, right?
Yeah, man. It's been like 4 sessions since he's done anything.
Yeah. That's a little bit meta there, right? We're like looking at, Jesus. So, okay, quick question. What abilities did this thing have?
I sent you a list. Everything
Where?
that you on Facebook, everything that you now know everything that this thing can do, and that's the list of things it can do.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, that's just a photo. Okay. Oh, apparatus. Can I have just a moment here? Because I did read this before. I had some time to read this before I came.
As you're scourging around in the tanker, another surge of electricity passes through.
Fuck.
8 damage.
Damn it. Okay, so Jesus. Okay, so that's 22. Give me a second here in math here. 8, 6, 14.
Give us the book! Give us the book! He's not giving you any time to think.
Okay.
You're trying to think of what to do, and he just keeps shouting at you, causing electricity to flow through this thing.
Now, you said that I had the ability to do non-lethal damage. That was as a person. I do not have really enough skill.
You can do, well, you have enough skill. You can do non-lethal damage with the thing.
Okay.
There's a problem. There is a problem, though.
Yes.
You are facing the wrong way.
Right. I'm facing the opposite way, and he's like kind of on the side, right? Oh, no, he's off the back because it's a butt hatch, right?
The butt hatch. Your arms are in front of you.
Okay. Okay, I am going to... Now, do you need to pop the hatch from the control panel?
You can pop the hatch from the control panel, or, like you're now seeing, the hatch to the door is being jingled open. He's trying to pry it open.
Okay. I am going to tell Hoffman, when I holler, open the door.
What are you, mad? Just make this thing move.
We're going to die in here. How fast does this thing go? Does it go faster paced than a person?
It goes kind of slower than a person. It would go the fast it can go is you walking.
Right.
Your walking speed is what this thing can go.
So I'm like, we're gonna die in here. I mean, this is we have to like stop him. How are we gonna make this thing move fast enough? When I say open the door, open the door.
Okay.
And so I get to the door. I am going to now. What? Just if we can pause for a second here. What are my options for a non-lethal attack? I don't see my boomstick.
Non-lethal is basically you have to say I'm doing non-lethal damage. That's it. Everything stays the same. All you just say is non-lethal damage. I'm gonna attack non-lethal damage. That's it. That's how you do non-lethal. You only have to say it.
How do we explain this in a logical sense of me doing non-lethal damage with my boomstick?
Well, technically, I guess you can you can fire at him, but maybe you modded it so it just does a concussion instead of a piercing.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to prep an attack. I don't know if that'll give me any sort of advantage.
Right? It does.
Attack of opportunity is really when you move past somebody, right? But
it just gives you advantage while you're ready. You ready an attack. You have advantage when the door opens.
Okay, that's what I want to do, and I'm gonna try and fucking pop him in the fucking head or whatever I knock back or whatever. But I need to fucking knock him the fuck out.
All right, go.
Okay, door open. Professor Hoffman.
Professor Hoffman just flings open the door. As the door opens, Quail is standing in front of you angrily, and his hands are sparking with magic. And he seems like he's about to cast something, but since you're ready in action, you go first.
Fuck me. Okay. So, advantage, I get to roll 2 dice, right?
Right. Take the highest number.
Fuck me! 2 to 1. Can I burn another inspiration?
If you have it, yes, you can.
Jesus.
If you want, someone else can give it to you.
Okay, so if I burnt the inspiration, do I make the double roll again, or do I just get one more on top?
You get one more on top.
Okay, so 12 plus 3, 15.
15. You just hit him. You fire. Do your damage.
Okay, so my broomstick is thunder damage. I'm gonna do the Thundermonger one, 2d6. 2d6 plus 3. And 2d6 plus 3 means you roll the 2d6 and add 3. That's not two dice of 6 plus 3, right? Okay.
Yep, it's the first one.
All right. 11.
He falls back, and his like hood flies off, and he lays on his back for a bit, and you see a flower sticking out of his ear. He sits up, and glares like, I knew it. And he casts his spell. How much health points do you have?
14.
14. He does 43 sleep damage. He puts you to sleep. No, right, so only 14. Oh shit.
43 sleep damage? What is that?
So he casts sleep.
Right.
And he's trying to knock you both out. If I did enough damage where it covered your health points, it puts you to sleep.
Right. And he did 43 sleep damage?
Yes, and that's more than what you have now, so he puts you to sleep. You fall asleep.
I'm out, right?
You're out.
Okay.
It is also out with the remaining.
I've got a question.
Uh-huh.
Can anybody dig about this mechanic? I can't do anything about it right now because I'm asleep. Can anybody dig about in my fucking bag of holding, or do I have to?
I think it's just a bag of holding that anyone can open.
News bears, baby. Okay.
All right, and that's where we're going to end the session.
Great. And so did I lose that 14 and go to 0?
No, you remain at 14. It's basically a big attack. If it's a big enough attack, you fall asleep.
Okay, cool. Damn. And is this slightly earlier than we normally quit?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I was 1 or 2 minutes late, but I was on time, right? I do have my New York time, right? 5:30.
I noticed you didn't see the messages. We were kind of talking and starting earlier since I knew that we were going to end the session earlier today because I need to do some stuff.
I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
I come promptly back from school, and I do want you to know that I do.
Oh no, buddy, trust me. I just need to do my project by the end of tonight, and I realized that I'm an idiot and haven't finished it yet. Right. But I only offered that we can start as early as everyone's ready, and that's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Cool. I just want you to know that I do hustle to get home, and this is I need to put this on my list of priorities.
Hey man, no worries.
Cool.
I believe you.
No, I've just played with so many people who are flake about the.
Oh no, I asked everyone if you guys want, I'm gonna call it early either way. But if you guys can, we can start earlier if you're here. If not, that's fine too.
Cool.
Just know that we just lost. I mean, not that long. Let's see. Looking at the timer. Like 30 minutes. That's about it. Maybe an hour.
Cool.
Now, hopefully, Quail doesn't kill him in his sleep.
Dude, I'm kind of.
We're just fucking playing cards.
He went
We're
super
we're
Gollum
drawing
on me.
2 cards, okay? We're not playing cards. We're just
You're
drawing
playing
them.
Just saying, you're playing cards.
Tornade is drawing cards.
I'm drawing 2 cards. It's not playing a game. I'm just drawing 2 cards because
Sure.
curiosity.
Super Gollum.
Well, good game, guys. Learned about characters.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You were betrayed by a teammate,
Piece of shit.
and you got a mech. A very slow metal mech.
I'd like to correct your grammar there. Had a mech.
All right, had a mech. You're right.
For a moment, oh, that sucks. That's like the guy who gets a new SUV and goes out partying and crashes it the first night. Oh my god.
I like how in the chat everyone's going like, shoot him, stop him, shoot him now.
I was just wanting to I just empathize. People have these spiritual revelations in life, and you don't want to poop on somebody's delusions right away. You want to
No, you poop on them right away, or else you should nuke them with a fireball.
yeah. I get that now. Trying to be nice. That's what I get. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you all next week.
All right, take care.
See you later, man.
Bye.
Take it easy, man. Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right, bye.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Bye, bye, everyone.
Hopefully I don't get my soul drained.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some options here. I have a deck of fate where this deck can basically change, alter, or improve your fate. Or we can switch it to the deck of many things. Which one would you rather do?
Well,
Since... Oh, wait, shit, we're still recording. No!